Hi everyone, Sparksy here, and today I wanted to show you my collection and how I organise my cards. Now, as I've said in the past, I have been a player, and so these first couple of folders are going to be my playing folders. Now, what I can't show you are my drawers. So in the house, I have a couple of drawers. I have about 12 drawers. Actually, they're just sort of cheap plastic drawers that I got from like Officeworks, and that's where I keep my bulk cards. So commons, uncommons, regular rares, all those things that don't make it into folders go into those drawers. One drawer for each different type, so fire, water, grass, etc. And that way, if a card, for whatever reason, does become playable in the future, I know what drawer to go to find that card. But these folders, to begin with, I've got this little folder, so it's the 4 pockets, and in here I have my special energy cards. So why 4 is because that's a play set. The most you can play of any one card in a deck is 4. So when we talk about a play set, we're referring to 4 of a card. And obviously here I can have a play set of each energy type, or special energy. And then if I ever need it for a deck, I can just come to this folder and I'll find a play set of it. But also this folder doubles up for, on the back here, my stadium cards. So again, same thing, play set of each stadium. Now, I've built some decks recently, so there's some gaps because of them. Like I said, we haven't played real life events for 12 months, so I do have a few gaps here and there just because I haven't, been worried about filling that folder for playing when I knew we didn't have any tournaments coming up soon. But my main folders here are these Ultra Pro 12 pocket side loaded folders. Now, these are the best folders in my opinion. What brand you get, it doesn't matter. In my personal opinion, there's not that big of a difference between all the brands. I have Ultra Pro just because that's what the store had in stock at the time. Ultimate Guard, Palms Off Gaming, all these different brands. Whichever brand you like the most, just go with that one if you want to. I don't think there's a big difference, but I highly recommend getting this 12 pockets a page and side loaded. So the cards come in on the side here like this. Again, that gives you a play set, going across. Plus, when it comes to collections, these hold 480 cards. And just makes it a lot easier to look at. So I highly recommend getting these folders. Now, for playing, here I have all of my supporter cards. So again, they're in play sets, and that way, if I need to look for a certain supporter card, I can come to this folder, and I'll find a play set of the supporter I'm looking for. And at the back, I also have play sets of item cards. So same thing. Again, that way I can come in here and just find the item card that I'm looking for, and most likely I'll find a play set of it. And if I don't own a play set, it also makes it easier for me to know what cards I need to buy. So as I'm going through, I can go, right, I know that this card's not in a deck, so therefore, I need to buy, 1 more copy, 2 more copies, etc. So I've always got a play set of cards that are playable or find their way into the meta. You never know what's going to become good, because who knows what Pokemon are going to make in 12 months time, kind of thing. But that's how I organise my trainers. And my Pokemon here, same thing. So same kind of folder. So at the start here, we've got our support Pokemon that are in almost every deck, thanks to their abilities mainly. But then we also have cards that go together in a deck. So I've got like all my Zacians here. Here are my Eternatus cards if I wanted to make Eternatus VMAX. Again, fire Pokemon, fighting Pokemon, water Pokemon. That way I can come here, I can go, right, here are all my Lapras. It doesn't look like I own any Lapras VMAX, so if I wanted to build that deck, I know that, cool, I have all the Lapras that I need. I need to go buy, 5 3 Lapras VMAX or 4 Lapras VMAX or whatever it is. And then at the back, same thing but for the non-V Pokemon. So these are cards that either I know will see play, have seen play, or have the potential to see play depending on, you know, what happens with the meta and tournaments and all that stuff. But again, we're just looking at play sets. Like this whole page was all the different Mad Party Pokemon, but I've built that deck recently for my nephew, so that's why that page is so empty. But otherwise, these are just, yeah, basically play sets. All the Decidueye line here, and that's just so that, again, if I wanted to build Decidueye, I know I can come to this folder, you know, come to this page, and I've got all the cards I need for that deck. Now I'll show you some of the cards in my personal collection. Again, it's the same Ultra Pro, 12 pocket side-loaded binders. And the main reason here, it just makes it look a lot easier to display your cards. Plus they hold 480 cards, so these are really good for collections. Just for my own personal collection, this is base set, and straight after that we have Jungle. Now with this, I'm not actively seeking these cards. I pick up these old cards, like the next we have Fossil, but I'm missing even more cards of Fossil. I don't really go looking for these cards. I pick these up randomly, especially at tournaments. People have trade folders, things like that. They just, wherever I find the cards, that's where I'll pick them up. But I do eventually plan on having Base, Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket, the 2 Gym sets, and the 4 Neo sets, because these are the cards that I had as a kid, played with as a kid. So it's a real nostalgia factor. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of first editions of some basic cards, like Double Gust here. You can see that first edition symbol there. Nothing of any real value when it comes to these old cards. The most expensive card there was back here on the first page, would be Blastoids. So I am missing still quite a fair bit from these old cards. But as I said, I'm not actively seeking them. That's just when I randomly get them. But this folder is closer to completion. So the first half of this folder is Shining Fates. Now, we opened some Shining Fates the other day, and I mentioned that I have all of the regular set, so the 72, including plus the secret rare. So I'm going for a master set. So that's where you have, like the holo card and then the reverse holo, or just the normal card and then the reverse holo. Or basically every version of the card comes out here. So with Indeedee, you got the holo, the reverse holo, but then in a theme deck, I think it was, you also had the non-holo version. So I've got every version of every card, I think, at least for the main set, including then the Alcremie VMAX Rainbow Rare, which is the secret rare of the set. But then included in Shining Fates is the Shiny Vault. And this is where I have my biggest gaps. Mainly with these, what people call baby shinies. Obviously, as you can see, I'm missing a lot, but there's also a lot of them. There's 122 of them altogether. But we do have, I was very lucky enough to pull the Charizard VMAX. Now, I think I've opened 200 packs of Shining Fates, and I've only got one Charizard VMAX. So, to be honest, I don't know if that's good, bad, or otherwise, but I'm so happy that, I managed to get this card myself in a pack. I have most of the V Pokemon and VMAX Pokemon, and then at the end here we have all the different promos for the set as well. But then the second half of this folder is evolutions, which I have almost finished. How far along this master set I am depends on your interpretation. So, right here is meant to be a Charizard. I own 2 of them, but they're at PSA. And after 10 months, they have finally moved into the grading process. So hopefully I will have them back, very soon. I'll show them on the channel when I do get them in. So I do own a couple of Charizards, but they're at PSA. I will need to pick up another one to put in the folder though. Here is the reverse holo, which I've never owned, I will admit. So I straight up am missing that card, and I always need that card. The next one is the pre-release promo, and every other gap in this folder are pre-release cards. So it's either the pre-release promo like Charizard here, or it's a non-holo like Ninetales that you could only get in the pre-release box. So depending on how far you think I'm short of it, some people don't think you need that pre-release stuff. Therefore, I'm sort of only missing the 2 Charizards. I own this one, so I'm really only missing the reverse holo. But for me, a master set is every card that has the set symbol and set number that you can buy in sealed product. So you can walk into a store and buy a pack and you can get that card. Or you can walk into the store, buy a pre-release box, get that card. You can walk into the store, buy a promo box, whatever it is. If you can walk into the store, provided they have the stock, and buy the product that has the card in it, then I think it belongs in a master set. There are cards like this Mew, for example. It was a league challenge promo, so if you finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd or 4th place in a league challenge for one particular month, you got that card with the 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place or 4th place stamp on it. For me, that's not in the master set because you can't just go buy that card. You have to win that card. And another example is the double colorless energy of this set. This one, so that was the promo for the International Championships that year. So this double colorless energy, like the promo, you have North America, South America, European and Oceania International Championships. Just for playing in those events, you got, a version of that card with that stamp on it. But then you also got, if you finished top 32, you got the double colorless energy with that championship stamp plus the top 32 stamp. If you finished top 8, you got the top 8 stamp. If you won the event, you got double colorless energy with the championship stamp on it and 1st place stamp on it. So there's a lot of different promo versions of this card, which is another reason why I say you don't want to collect sort of every version for a master set. In my mind, a master set is not every version of a card. It's every version of a card that you can get from product. And then just the secret rares at the end there. So again, having this folder makes it nice, displays these ones nicely, and I'm able to get 2 different sets into this folder. So that is how I store my Pokemon collection for both my personal collection and my playing cards. So I hope that helps you. Just to finish off here, I'm just going to show you some graded cards I have in my personal collection. My 3 favourite Pokemon are Charizard, Umbreon and Gengar. And I have a display case coming very soon that I'm going to basically a shelf for each of those Pokemon and just have in my house full of different versions of those Pokemon. So just some old like I said, I'll just show off a couple of these ones, especially the Charizards can be worth a little bit of money. That's why most of these are with CGC. Just a brand that is a bit more well known, holds its value a bit better, because I also have cards from CGA. CGA are a local Australian company that obviously grade cards, and they grade sport cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, all those different games. They grade all of them, but they don't hold their value as much as other ones just because they don't have the reputation as some other companies just yet. But for cards that aren't worth a lot of money, or cards that are just for my own personal collection, I tend to send them to CGA just because I want them graded, more to put them in a case and make them easy to display. I don't really care about the grade too much. You also will notice that with these CGA cards, it's got the old grading system, so out of 100. I have some cards coming back from CGA very soon, and they will actually have their new grading scale of 1 to 10. So we'll get grades very similar to this. Next we have what is probably my favourite Pokemon in Umbreon. So we've got the Undaunted Umbreon here. Now, not a great grade, and it's its surface. You can tell by those subgrades. CGC do subgrades. So it's got really good marks and everything except for its surface. And I can't really show you on camera, but there are a few scratches here and there. But otherwise it's a really nice card. And then again, I've just got some more CGA cards here. So the Full Art Umbreon GX. And look, I don't pick these cards because they're worth money. I pick them basically just because they're Umbreon cards. And I love the artwork on them. So I'm sure everyone has their own favourite Pokemon, and I think this is the best way to collect. Don't worry too much about finding sets and all that stuff. Sort of just go for the Pokemon you like. Maybe try and get every version of a Pokemon you like, something along those lines. And I think you'll have more fun collecting that way than you will any other way than trying to get like literally every card out there, because there's just too many. So pick your favourites and go with them. Next I have some Gengar cards. I don't have too many Gengar cards at the moment. I've been focusing more on the Umbreon side of things, but I do have some more Gengars coming, and sort of when I have too many Umbreons, I'll start getting more Gengars. Again, same thing. These are more just personal collection, not worth a lot of money. Just really like the artwork on them. This next lot are cards that I just had in my collection. I thought I'd get them graded because they either are worth money, could be worth money, depending on the grade. Just things like that. Things I had in my collection that I thought I should get graded because either they're really nice cards, really old cards, or cards that may be worth a little bit of money now or in the future. So really nice, promo Pikachu here. The Full Art Mimikyu, which I will have another one going. I've got a whole lot of these going to CGC. So the Cosmic Eclipse had, I can't remember now, maybe 12 Pokemon that had these full art versions. They're not the V or GX, I think it was GX back then, where they've got the trainer with them as well. Really nice cards. So I've got a whole set of them going to CGC. Now we've got some first edition cards. I don't think any of these got great grades, and also none of them are really that expensive, but they are first editions, so nice to have graded, nice to have in the collection, and say that you own some first edition cards. So that's sort of just the main reason why I got these ones graded. I have multiple copies of some of these, not graded, just sitting in the folder, things like that. Another first edition there, but also the start of, I quite like Giovanni as a character, just call me a Gen 1er, being the original bad guy of the game, so I've got some Giovanni's cards here. So I'll just put them in my display case when that arrives. Now we've just got some sort of random cards, so promo cards, pre-release promo cards, a first place card, just so I can show people one day that I did come first place at a tournament. This is just a league challenge one, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is nice to have a card that says first place. In fact, I'm actually shocked at how good of a grade this got, because I played this exact card in multiple decks, and I riffle shuffle, so the fact that this got an 89 is quite amazing, to be honest. And then just some other old cards I have, EX Hidden Legends, Delta Species, and Ruby Sapphire. So just old cards that, again, they're probably not worth a lot of money, but old cards are always nice to have. Nice to have and nice to show off. Now, at the front here, we just have, this is just a sleeve with some really nice artwork on it, with Umbreon and Espy on there. Blackie and Ali are that's what they're called in Japan. Obviously, the Japanese versions of those names, but that's what the names translate to. So that's what that is. But underneath here are my two favorite cards in my collection. So we've got a Gengar and an Umbreon. I'll give you a nice closer view. So these are obviously being altered. So they started off as just a normal Pokemon card, and an artist has painted over them, extended the artwork out, things like that. And I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant. I've asked her to do some more for me. If you like this type of stuff and you like this artwork, go check out pumpkaamy on Twitch. She does TCGO, Nuzlocke challenges, and Pokemon art. If you go join one of her streams, she is from England, so whatever time zone that works for you. For me, it's usually either very late at night or very early in the morning. But if you like these kind of cards, go check her out. Go check out her stream, and from there she can point you to her social medias, and you can have a chat about getting your own copies of any card you want. And she'll paint almost any card as long as she owns it or you're willing to find it for her. Well, I hope that was helpful with how to store Pokemon cards, whether it be for playing or collecting. At the end we had a little bit of a look at my personal collection for graded cards. As I said, I've got a display case coming that I'm going to put them all in. When that eventually arrives and I set it all up, I will put pictures out on my social media pages. But in the comments, let me know what your favourite Pokemon is, your favourite card you own. Just let me know about your collection. Coming up soon, I should have some more CGA graded cards coming back very soon. And then from there, we'll probably do some more pack openings. But until then, stay safe.